Just like there are going to be degrees of punishment in hell, and that's another sermon for another time. But in heaven, I think I referred to this last week. Jonathan Edwards preached a lot on heaven, and he's most noted for preaching on hell, right? He's the man that preached the great sermon, Sinners in the Hands of an Angry God, that propelled us into what was called the First Great Awakening in the 1700s here in this country. But Edwards preached far more on heaven than he ever did on hell. But Jonathan Edwards says about this life here on earth as a Christian, as a citizen of the kingdom of God, he said, our duty as Christians is to lay up as much joy in the kingdom that is to come. To lay up as much joy. And that's exactly what our text is going to tell us today, is that we need to lay up for ourselves treasure in heaven. So when I preached this several years back, many people came out, and again, I think I've said this, and so let me repeat it, is that it was a game changer for them spiritually, because they began to think about life in a much different way than they had thought about life before, especially life as a Christian. That everything that happens here on this earth is an opportunity for you to lay up for yourselves much joy in heaven. One of the things that we'll get into in the weeks ahead is the way we suffer here on earth is a way to lay up treasure in heaven, to lay up much joy in heaven for our suffering here on this earth. So our suffering here on this earth it's an opportunity for us to lay up something far greater for ourselves in the future, which is greater joy, which is greater enjoyment in the life that is to come in the kingdom of God. And I'm not going to say any more about that, because you just need to either be here for the subsequent sermons, or if you're not able to be here in person, is to make sure that you watch them online, and that you don't miss the further details of that. But let me begin this morning by reading to you. This is not going to come up on the screen initially, so